Islam, right down here to your right. A lot made coming into this fight about the teammates, Usman next week, but you're in kind of the weird spot, right? Like you have to watch Umar fight, and then Usman gets a week off. So how are you handling all of this? How are you going to handle the night of the fight?
January is a hard month for our team. Tahir, Umar, Usman, myself fighting, you know. I will watch all the fights, and after my fight, with my belt, I will travel to Dubai to support Usman.
And I know you said last time you weren't going to do the custom shorts for the last fight, but you did them this time, and they're very cool. How did you come up with the design?
Yeah, I really like it, you know. They put everything what I ask, you know. It's really look very good, you know. And I have all my shorts from all my fights. I have the collection, you know, and it's gonna be one of the best in the collection.
Yeah, and I know you said in the Countdown show and some other interviews that you're very good in rematches, right? But you just had the one with Volkanovski, and you only had like 10 days to prepare for that. You've had months for this. So how much better are you going to be in this rematch with more time this time?
I'm always good in the rematch. That's why I will be more prepared, you know. Now I know everything what Arman can do, and I know his style, and always he have same style always, you know. He have good wrestlings. That's why he's my opinion. That's why he's a #1 contender right now, because in our division we don't have like many good high level wrestlers, you know. But who have good skills in the wrestling, they're in the top.
Arman was in here earlier, and he says he has a secret technique planned for this fight that no one has ever seen before and you won't be ready for. Do you have any idea what this might be?
Man, I told you, don't believe what Arman says, because last time he says I will finish Oliveira by 1 round, but they go all distance and he won by split decision. That's why don't believe him.
And I know you said he's not going to talk about you anymore after this fight, right? But he is still one of the younger guys in the division. Do you not see, if you win this fight, ever a third fight with him, it's going to be over after this?
My third fight, no, I hope no, because not makes sense 3 times fight with some guy, you know, same guy. And but I think this new generation will come, you know. We have most dangerous weight division. The all guys, I believe this is one of the hardest weight class in, not just in UFC, in our sports, you know. And I need some new target.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. I saw someone point out in the lead up to this fight that in 2025, most of the guys in the top 10 are going to be turning 35 or older. Arman is the youngest one. So what do you think of the division right now, and who do you see as people who are coming up and could maybe challenge for the belt in the next year or so?
I don't want to look behind Arman, because now I have Arman is a good, really tough opponent, and I just focus on him, you know. And looking for the rankings, thinking for the next opponent, it's not my job. I just still training, still hungry, and just if we have something, just send me contract. It's my opinion all my life, you know. I never chose opponent, never thinking like I'm gonna fight this guy, I'm not gonna fight this guy. Just send me contract, that's it.
And just last thing, if your team goes 3-0, you, Tagir, and Umar on Saturday, is this going to be maybe the most special night of your career so far?
For sure. This is the biggest night for our team. Two guys fight for the title, and other guy fight also, you know. That's why it's the big day for the Russian MMA, for the Dagestan, for our gym, you know. We're so excited.
Islam, right here. Arman has been pretty honest when he's been talking about his own skill set and game plans. And he said in the first fight, when he took you down, his coaches were telling him to stop wrestling, but he wanted to keep wrestling you, and he wasn't listening to his coaches. He was pretty honest about that. And he says in every fight, his coaches will tell him something, and he wants to do what they're not telling him all the time, similar with Charles.
tell him, you have to. I listen my coach. I don't know who is his coach, but I always listen my coach because I have one of the best coaches in this game, and it's good, when you have some corners who can give you good advice. You have to listen them because small things can change the fight.
And one of the stories is if you win this fight, you have the title fight record at lightweight. So what would that record mean to you? Because a lot of people are now saying if you win on Saturday, you could be the greatest lightweight in just all of mixed martial arts, not just the UFC.
I swear, I never thinking about this. Just last week, the all media asked me about this. But it's good if I broke some records, if I have most lightweight title defense, if I have most win in UFC, it's good. Close to the become Hall of Fame.
Back here, Islam, right in front of you, right? Salam alaikum.
Alaikum.
Do you feel that this version of Arman Tsarukyan is going to be the most dangerous opponent that you've had, even compared to Volkanovski, compared to Oliveira?
No. If I give them chance to work, it's going to be dangerous. It's going to be tough fight. But all of the guys who I fought last 5 times, I don't know, they're always dangerous, Oliveira, one of the dangerous guys in our division. How many submissions, how many knockouts he have, Volkanovski, one of the tough guy, in our sports. It's MMA, all fighters from contenders or when you become fight for the title, it's all dangerous. And if I let them work, it's gonna be tough fight. But if I can follow my plan, it's gonna be easy, inshallah.
Do you think the fight will look similar to what it was before your first fight, or it's going to be very different?
I don't know how it's gonna look, but I'm ready.
All right, final question.
Maybe first time I'm a little bit underestimating because before that he never fought in UFC. I never saw his fight, but right now I know everything what Arman have. He know everything what I have, and it's gonna be a good fight for the MMA fans.
Absolutely. Final question for me. I was watching video from about 18 years ago where Khabib was talking you were going to be competing in the World Sambo Championship. Did you believe then that Khabib would be champion and you would be champion in the UFC?
Yeah, for sure. Because I know when Khabib was you took the belt, and I understand. In my mind, I can do because I did same things, training with him all life, follow the discipline, follow the everything, and I understood I can be UFC champion at that moment. And when Khabib, 15 years old, this guy's training more than everybody. That's why he have good success. That's why he was UFC champion, because he's a hard worker and training everywhere, every day, more than everybody.
Excellent.
This is the key.
Thank you very much.
Брат, такой
Islam
вопрос.
right here.
Салам алейкум.
Александр.
Как мы знаем, этот кемп больше прошел под руководством Хабиба, чем под руководством Мендеса. Насколько сильно отличается, насколько тяжелее прошел этот кемп в сравнении с тем, когда Мендес?
Так не сказать, что под кого-то руком вместе у нас была подготовка, вся команда вместе, все тренера были вместе, и больше процессом руководил Хабиб. И подготовка была очень тяжелая, отпахали все в хорошей форме.
Я понял. И еще такой вопрос. Ты говорил, что не хочешь драться с Мухаммадом. Если вдруг в их чемпионском противостоянии выиграет Шавкат Рахмонов, готов ли ты подраться с ними? И как ты вообще видишь, прошел бы этот бой?
Я с обоими парнями знаком. Это не те бои, которые я бы хотел бы точно. И Белял Мухаммад, и Шавкат Рахмонов. Оба первоклассные бойцы с набором всех навыков. И у них скоро состоится хороший бой, который мне интересно будет посмотреть.
Islam over here. Islam, I was wondering, can you speak on your shorts have the mountains and then they have, I believe it's pronounced the Kanjali, the dagger. Can you just talk about what it means and that the Kanjali's significance to the culture of Dagestan?
The mountain what I have, this mountain, it's called Pabaku in the Lak district, close to my village. I went to the hill, 2 times. That's why it's a famous mountain. I put there, and I put the dagger because dagger is the traditional. Something traditional in Dagestan.
You've obviously known Umar Nurmagomedov for a long time. Just obviously, he's one of the younger guys on the team. What would it mean to you to see him become a champion, having known him since you guys were both younger?
I know Umar how many years? More than 10 years. This guy is most disciplined guy in our gym. He travel a lot when he not in UFC. He travel with us a lot, and he training last 10 years with us everywhere. And this guy is hungry, When he was young, he always thinking about UFC belt. I want to be champion. I want to be success, And he's a hard worker. That's why he's a contender right now. That's why he's fighting for the belt, He deserves because I saw how he training. He very hungry.
I asked him, can you tell me a story about Islam when you guys were both really young? He said, you were always joking. You've always been the funny guy. I'm wondering, can you tell us a story about Umar from when you met him when you were both really young?
One time I have one story. One time we're training in the San Jose, and some of the guys say, let's go to San Francisco. I told them, hey, no, I don't want to go San Francisco because some of them it's traffic, more than 1 hour by drive in the weekend. And they just leave, 4 people. And I called them after 2 hours, hey, where are you guys? You reached to the San Francisco? They said, no, we reached to the hotel where we live from. I said, well, what happened? They told me, we go to the gas station and Omar put diesel in our car. From that moment, we told everybody, don't give your kids to the Muay Thai school when they was young.
Thank you.
Islam over here. Got a couple questions for you. It's no surprise that there's a lot of Armenians in LA, a lot of Armenians expected at the Intuit Dome for UFC 311. Tell me about whether or not that gives you more motivation going into the octagon when you know that the crowd and a lot of people are rooting for your opponent.
It's not a surprise for me. I went to the Australia where the very big arena and maybe 100 people support me, but other in the Volkanovski side. Last time I fought in New Jersey, in US, their all arena same support my opponents. It's nothing mean, when you step to the cage, just you and your opponent. You have to be focused. That's it.
And one more question for you. You've received 3 Fight of the Night bonuses in your illustrious UFC career, and one of them was against Arman. So what would you say makes him a very exciting fighter to take on?
Him make excited?
I'm saying what makes him an exciting fighter to fight against?
Because first time we have good fights, all distance, we get the bonus. Second one, I like to finish, and this fight I will looking for the finish all fights because I don't like to fight all distance. And he's a good, this very good fight for the MMA fans because number 1 contender fight for the champion, and both have good skills and very competitive fight.
Ислам, можно? Ислам, а будешь ли ты Армана Царукяна приводить в пример своим детям Арман из богатой семьи, но пахарь, уже многого добился в спорте.
Ну, не знаю, приводить кому в пример?
Детям своим.
Ну, своим детям я даже себя не буду в пример приводить. Есть люди, которые лучше нас, и бойцы, и мы не те люди, с которых там, не самые лучшие люди, с которых стоит брать пример. Есть намного лучшие, которые жили до нас, и я думаю, для них они будут примером. Ну, Арман молодец, пришел, я слышал, что он с богатой семьи и добился таких результатов. Обычно тяжело и мало таких.
И Хабиб очень много времени провел с вами на сборе, помогал готовиться, хотя мог потратить это время, там, например, на ведение бизнеса. Получит ли он какой-либо тренерский гонорар?
Гонорар только он нам дает. Ну, мы, конечно, очень благодарны Хабибу. Большая семья у него, и столько дел, столько переездов, полетов, и все ради того, чтобы мы добились успеха. Здесь часто начинают меня спрашивать, ты побьешь там Хабиба рекорд и что-то такое. Никогда в жизни у меня в голове даже 1% не было, чтобы я побил там Хабиба какие-то рекорды. Мы здесь не для этого. Мы здесь только для того, чтобы помогать друг другу. И это самое ценное, и я это ценю, что не только Хабиб, здесь много ребят, у всех есть семья, у всех есть дела, и они просто приезжают поддержать нас, чтобы мы добились успеха. Потому что мы как единое целое, наша команда как одно, каждый переживает чужую боль как свою.
Спасибо.
Ислам, добрый день. Известно, что Арману в этом тренировочном лагере помогал Адриано Мартинс, единственный человек, который тебя победил. Когда ты об этом узнал, если ты знаешь об этом, какая была твоя реакция?
Ну, я видел фотографии. Реакций никаких не было. Адриано Мартинс, выиграл он, меня попал. После этого проиграл, не знаю сколько, я еще не видел, что он после этого выиграл. И это не такой человек, да, с набором навыков, чтобы с кем тренироваться, что ты на нем можешь расти. У него идет большой спад, и я не думаю, что он чем-то может Арману помочь.
Ну, кстати, вот по поводу того боя бытует мнение, что то поражение как раз-таки тебе помогло, потому что на тебя не давит этот нолик, который давит на многих.
Ну, я думаю, лучше бы он давил на меня.
Еще я у Армана спросил, и он сказал, что когда ваша история в октагоне будет закончена, ему было бы интересно провести с вами лагерь, по примеру того, как Уитакер сейчас тренируется с Адесаней. Тебе было бы интересно потренироваться с Арманом?
Да, почему нет? Я даже вчера Дэви Рамоса видел в лифте. Я знаю, он сейчас тренирует, сам тоже выступает, но редко. И я ему сказал, что можешь взять своих ребят, приехать к нам в Дагестан. Мы все организуем, потренируемся вместе. Он тоже обрадовался. Потому что много же ребят тренируются. Обмен опытом. Приедут бразильцы, пацаны, потренируются вместе. Мы что-то им дадим полезное. Они там чем-то поделятся. Для роста это полезно.
Арман не раз уже говорил, что у него есть какой-то суперсекретный прием, который он использует в субботу вечером. Как думаешь, что это?
Не знаю, может, у него тоже секрет джуз какой-то. Не знаю. Уже много раз меня об этом спрашивали, но я готов ко всему.
И последний вопрос. Недавно Хабиб сказал, что хочет уже поскорее завершить карьеру, но сделает это тогда, когда каждый член вашей команды тоже завершит карьеру. Вопрос. Сколько вы еще будете оставлять Хабиба у работы?
Пока еще рано ему об этом думать. Умар дерется за пояс. Усман только набрал обороты. Сейчас скоро, я думаю, его в UFC подпишут. И у него еще много лет тяжелых, нервных впереди.
Спасибо. Хорошего боя.
You talked about how you were good with rematches, but how hard is it for you to prepare for a rematch like this against an opponent who you know what they want to do, but since you last fought them, they've evolved like an extreme amount?
Of course, when you know everything what your opponents can do, when you watch is like 10 fights in UFC is different for sure. But you know, for my opponent, he have always same style. He always like beginning from the striking. When somebody push him, he try to take them down, you know. But I prepare for everything. I'm gonna give him hard time in the striking, grappling, wrestling.
And then obviously it's nice to have the fans on your side, but do you kind of like it when the fans are almost against you and you can almost embrace like
It's
the
not
villain's
something
mentality?
I like, but I told you it's no matter who you support, you and your opponent, and that's it. Cage is closed, nobody can help you.
Islam, Khabib recently said in an interview with ESPN that fighting was easier and that coaching is more of a headache. What was his energy and his teaching like during this training camp?
You know, of course he's for like corners everybody, not just in the fight, in the sparring, you know. Sometimes he go crazy when he corners somebody in the gym also, you know. When somebody don't listen him, his advice, he go crazy. And it's really hard. Maybe someone you guys know understand, but when you corner someone who close to you, your friends, it's really hard because you're nervous. You cannot sleep after the fight. You cannot even sleep after this night because you're like, you know, empty because the emotion, the people, crowd, you know, you're gonna be like empty, zero after the fight. That's why I think now he have experience, you know, and he have to keep in energy now from the first fight when he gonna be corner with Tahir, because Tahir is the guy who make him nervous more than everybody.
What is it like when you said he goes crazy? What is that like when he goes crazy? Can you give us a story?
Like a couple weeks ago, Tahir spar with some guys. That guy like push him to the cage, and Tahir just stay here. Khabib told him a couple times, do this, but Tahir don't listen him, you know. And after when the training finished, Khabib told him, hey, I have my family, I have like job, I have everything. I can live from here. If you don't to listen me, I can live. But if you want to be, I'm here training with you, you have to listen my advice. Because some of the things you don't understand in the fight, you know. Because somehow if somebody pressure you, keep you in the cage, you're gonna lose the round, you know. And I always listen my corners, you know, because they so fight, they know who is win, which round you lose, which round you won, you know. That's why you have to listen your corners.
Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, guys.
Good morning.
That's good. Well, Arman, over here. Aside. Obviously, it's been a while since your first fight with Islam, and we've been asking you about Islam ever since that fight. I felt like every time you won, we'd ask you, you know, how far away are you from getting that rematch? But now that we're here, I guess how's fight camp been? How's the weight cut been? And just, I guess, what are the emotions now that you are only a few days away from actually getting a rematch?
My training camp been good. Weight cut is going good as well. So I feel good, so excited, and finally I'm fighting for that title.
How has it been this fight week in general? Because, you know, LA has a big Armenian population, and, you know, people were saying, oh, there might be a lot of Russians, maybe some Dagestan fans will show up, and then people were also remembering there's going to be a huge fan base for you. So I guess, how's the reception been for you here in Los Angeles, just all fight week?
It's like I'm fighting at my hometown, almost same. I feel like this show they did for me, you know, for my fan, and I know like a lot of Armenian people coming to watch my fight.
And, you've said, Islam is probably one of the best pound for pounds. John Jones might be number one, but Islam is right there as well. So I guess, what have you made of Islam's last few fights? Because even Islam said his last fight against Dustin, he knows he made mistakes and he knows what he has to do to correct them. So I guess when you watched that fight, were you seeing mistakes that Islam was making too? And just what do you make of his skill set as a whole recently?
Of course, everybody has mistake. To watch fight is so easy, but to fight is so difficult. And when I watch my fights, I said, why I did like some stupid mistakes. And everybody has mistakes, and he had two in his last fights. And previous fight was with Volkanovski was no mistakes, just was a short fight. So and but he finished in the fifth round, and he got the performance, and he looked good. So.
And you said during your first fight, you took Islam down, and then you kept trying to wrestle him, and maybe you threw the game plan out the window and used all your energy a little quickly. Have you had to work on that, or have your coaches had to talk to you to be kind of refocus you and make you stick to the game plan and not just shoot in so much or kind of throw the game plan out?
Yeah, this time I'm gonna listen my corners, and but sometimes I believe myself too much, and and like okay. Like when someone say don't do that, I wanna do that. I don't know why. Like even like at home, like if someone like tell me to do something, I just don't wanna do that. So I wanna do opposite. But this time, to get the belt, I gotta listen my corners very well and do what I gotta do. So just I have a game plan, and I gotta like keep listening. So.
Are they the ones that came up with this secret technique that you've been teasing everyone with?
Yeah, everybody asking, like, tell me your secret technique. Like, how can I tell you? Okay, high kick. I'm like saying everybody. And like, it's, I don't know. I shouldn't say that secret technique. It's like everybody asking the same question. What's the secret technique? It's like, I don't know. Like, no makes sense to ask that question. So.
And,
it's a high kick, guys.
You said you didn't really feel pressure in this fight because the pressure is on Islam. You're doing this for fun. But then, you've also been talking about you envision your life as a champion, and then after this, it'll be the big money fights. This is for legacy. So is this still just for fun, or are you envisioning life winning the belts? And does this fight mean even more to you, and you do feel a little pressure at all?
No, I don't feel pressure. I just... I'm doing for fun, but like I have a goal to be a champion. I said like I started doing this for fun, like, and then I became a professional fighter, UFC fighter, and now I'm just 28 years old, and I have like 7 years to build my name very big, make a lot of money, defend as much as possible, and like to be number one in this game.
And obviously, winning a world title is everything you want, but to beat someone like Islam, who people are already saying is one of the best this division's ever seen, best in the sport, does that add something to it, or is it really kind of irrelevant who you're fighting? It's just the title that matters.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it was Charles Oliveira or Gage or whatever. Just it's the same goal. It's a title right now. I'm focusing on just title. It's my goal. Even if we're gonna compare rematch with Islam Makhachev or title, I'll pick title because it's a history, like different stories. So.
This super secret technique that you can't tell us about, is it something like we've seen in MMA before, or is it something like you've completely invented and you're going to like jump through the air, somersault, and like double foot him in the face, or is it something we might actually be able to recognize when you do it?
No, that technique I've never seen in UFC. Okay. In highlights as well.
Right. When we see you do it, will we go, that's what he was talking about?
Yeah, for sure. That technique, you're going to say, oh, wow, what is that? Like a up kick the last fight. So okay. You never seen when I'm like throwing an up kick, Cool. But like it's so rare kick as well, It's like a couple fighters who did like a up kick, in the UFC as well.
if you throw it and it doesn't work, will you be like kind of disappointed, or are you going to just be able to roll with it?
You mean ups kick?
No, your super secret technique.
It's gonna work if I throw it.
Arman, over here to your right still. I know you said that if you beat Islam, you would be willing to give him a trilogy fight. There's only been one other trilogy in the history of the lightweight division with Frankie Edgar and Gray Maynard. Do you feel like when your guys' careers are over, are we going to look back at this rivalry and these fights between you and Islam and say it's the biggest rivalry in lightweight history?
I can tell right now it's gonna be one of the best fight in lightweight division and one of the fight you like. Everybody is waiting for this fight. And the trilogy is gonna be the same, and everybody gonna talk about this fight. Even our fight was like 5 years or almost 6 years ago, and like everybody talked about that fight as well. So because 6 years ago we showed so good fight, and everybody talks about the fight. Can imagine what happened this Saturday if we have improved so much, and this time is gonna be same. Like people gonna talk about this fight next 10 years as well.
Arman right here, bro. Over here.
He's older. He started first.
Oh, hey, thank you. Are you sure? I don't want to jump in front of anyone, but if Arman says you're the boss. Thanks, Arman. I appreciate it a lot. When you two first fought, you were just 22 years old, and he was almost 28. Now you're right in your prime at 28, and he's almost 34. I know you've improved tremendously by watching you. Do you feel he's improved, he's stayed the same, or maybe he's a little bit worse than when you fought him and he was only 28?
No, he improved a lot. He changed his game, and he started do very well, like Muay Thai, clinch, and he throw his left knee. He has good. So, and he does very smart game. He doesn't waste his energy. He doesn't do a lot, but it's enough to win. And. We both got improved, so
absolutely. What do you
think
about
he's in his prime right now, because 33 years old, and he got a lot of experience. He did a lot of title defense, and he's on his prime. But I think I'm in my prime as well, and I'm ready to beat him.
Absolutely. I'm sure you're not concerned about the odds, but are you surprised that you're like a 3-1 underdog? Many of us thought it should have been like an even bet, even money, to see who would win between you and Islam.
No, I was a little bit surprised, but I was happy for my fans. They're going to put a lot of money on me.
Absolutely. And then the last one for me is what do you feel is going to be the difference between this fight and the other one? Obviously, you winning, but do you feel the fight will look similar to the first one, or is it going to be very different, in your opinion?
It's going to be a little bit different because I improved my striking so much, my wrestling, and now I'm more smarter than I was, and I got a lot of different techniques, not just simple 1-2 kick, and now I have good combinations that I can throw, and it's gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna strike more than wrestle, I feel like.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, right here, brother. Age before.
Where's my T-shirt?
Age before beauty, right? If the fight goes your way Saturday night, is the celebration plan still to walk across Russia with the belt?
Yeah, but walk is gonna be. I checked on the GPT chat. He said me I gotta walk 182 days, but I gotta defend that title. So we decided to drive. It's 10-15 days, but drives is better. I'm gonna drive.
And then you always make these videos. You say this is my last meal before camp. Camp starts tomorrow, where you're sitting in front of 30 plates of Dave's hot chicken or In-N-Out burgers. Do you have a favorite fast food spot?
Yeah, right now it's Dave's hot chicken. number one right now.
Arman right here.
Arman, when you and I met and talked Monday, you told me you wanted to dominate Islam Makhachev. What does domination look like to you?
Domination is like when you go there and just work 25 minutes non-stop and don't let him wrestle you and strike you. Just show your all skills. But on my mind, it's a finish, you know. And I don't want to show like even fight because he's a champ and the judges can give it to him. So that's why I gotta make a good. I gotta like show good performance and to show everybody I'm in different level.
Can you just take us through your mindset of what it's like to think about one opponent, one fight over the last 5 years, and to finally get it? What is that like? Just the anticipation and build up for you right now.
It's like a dream fight, you know, like especially when he became a champion. You said I was like number 10, you know, and he already was a champ. He became a champ, and I was ranked number 10 or something like that. And I said, I'm like, I gotta win my fights and like get that title. And in 5 years, I'm here, and so I have a chance to get that title this Saturday. And when they told me you're gonna fight for the title, I was super happy, so excited. But now I'm just focusing on the fight. I'm not thinking, oh, okay, I just got what I wanted. But the main goal right now is to be a champion, not just go there that I fought for the title and I got title fight.
Intuit Dome in Los Angeles is going to be about 18,000 people. A lot of them are going to be your fans. You're going to have that home court advantage, like you said. When your music hits, what's going on through your head? What kind of adrenaline rush do you get? And how does that help you in the fight?
Yeah, it's when I listen my music. I try never listen the music during the fight camp or off season. I just want to listen just one time fight day, and when I listen to that music, it gives me a lot of motivation, and it drives me like crazy, and I'm ready to fight, you know, with anybody.
I'm sure a lot of the fans are going to want to hug you and not throw the middle finger at you this time, so it should be a easier walk out into the cage. But last one from me. Your hometowns in Armenia, Georgia, Russia, you're talking to your family and friends. Can you just give us a description of what the global anticipation and atmosphere is going to be like for your hometowns?
Yeah, everybody excited. They can't wait me to bring the belt home. Yeah, like I have a lot of places, a lot of places where I have home. I have home in Georgia. I have home in Russia. I have home in Armenia. So, but like everywhere like live people who supports me in different countries. So this belt gonna be for them, you know, for everybody, not just for three of that country.
Thank you, Arman.
Arman right here. Arman, the internet has called you the Armenian Bruce Wayne. How do you feel about that name? The secret identity of the Batman.
Who is that Bruce Wayne?
Batman.
Armenian Batman.
Yes.
What was the question?
How do you feel about that name? They say it's because you're a fantastic fighter, but they also think Arman might be one of the richest fighters without fighting.
Что Бэтмен вообще делает?
Он же миллионер.
Бэтмен
и получается миллионер, но никто не знает, он в костюм переодевается, и потом Бэтменом.
Sorry, I don't watch movies, that's why I don't know who is Batman. And он что, помогает людям, да? Какой вопрос он говорит? Я думаю,
если тебя сравнивают с Бэтменом, потому что он миллионер, но ночью он переодевается в костюм и борется с преступностью, и тебя схоже, то есть ты мог бы не заниматься боями, потому что тебе так все хорошо.
И что надо ответить?
Тебе такое сравнение.
Yeah, kind of similar, and but I gotta help more people like Batman does. So hopefully after this fight I'm gonna have time and I can help people who needs me.
Fans are very curious because you had that nicer car than Dana White in the video. Is your do you have a lot of money outside of MMA, Arman?
I do not. My father maybe has.
Okay, thank you. Finally, if you weren't a fighter, what do you think your job would be?
Hanging out on my island, drinking.
He really is the Armenian Bruce Wayne.
I'll keep it to one final question from me, Armanjan. Ever since you started your UFC career about 6 years ago, you did gain a massive Armenian, following. But during the past 6 years, I know, Armenians around the world, Armenians in Armenia and Artsakh have gone through some war and tragedy. Tell me about what it means to, represent such a resilient type of people, a strong type of people, and also be able to fight in front of such a large population of Armenians.
When I think about that, like I said, it's like gives me motivation, to work hard and never give up, and it drives me to get my goal, and I want to bring the goal for my people. And we always had the bad times, and I want to make them happy this Saturday.
Thank you.
Барев здесь Арманджан, Гамар Джоба, привет. Или если верить твоей кофте, то бонжорно.
Бонжорно.
Недавно мы видели, как Изида Адесанья и Роберт Уитакер стали тренироваться вместе, помогать друг другу, хотя до этого дрались дважды. Ты представляешь себе ситуацию, при которой ты вместе с Исламом пройдешь лагерь, когда ваша история будет закрыта?
Может быть, почему нет? Почему нет? Может все поменяться, и у нас нет никакой вражды между собой. Это просто спортивный интерес. Также мы живем в одной стране, и я в этом ничего такого не вижу, только наоборот полезно.
Но ты в свое время говорил, что именно Хабиб мотивировал тебя на то, чтобы заниматься ММА на серьезном уровне. Для тебя это будет какой-то дополнительной мотивацией? Есть ли у тебя цель поработать, пройти лагерь под руководством Хабиба?
Да, конечно, я бы хотел пройти лагерь, получить какой-то опыт, посмотреть, как они тренируются. И больше всего это опыт, да, у которого есть Хабиба, просто отнять у него это, послушать его. И он больше, я думаю, мотиватор, да, такой первопроходец, который прошел через это все, и он парням, которые с ним, уже намного легче, потому что он это все проходил, он все знает, как нужно, что нужно. И да, хотелось бы, конечно.
Спасибо, хорошего боя.
Брат, последний вопрос, можно, пожалуйста?
Да, давай.
Все пытаются узнать, брат, какую ты секретную технику хочешь использовать в бою. Хотя бы ты можешь сказать, это что-то связанное со стойкой или с борьбой?
Со стойкой.
Со стойкой. И еще один последний вопрос. Дал ли тебе отец какие-то напутственные слова перед боем? Как-то тебя морально подготовил? Что-то тебе сказал такое важное?
Не, он ничего не говорил. Он сказал, что волосы надо постричь обязательно. Бороду подстричь надо. И чтобы не мешалось. Я это займусь завтра или сегодня вечером. И сказал, чтобы я ходил уверенно, чтобы они не думали, что я их боюсь. Thank you. Thank you, guys.